the workplace and the spiritual environment in the workplace is very ripe. There's a lot of people there that are desiring to get the message out that God is very active in the workplace. So even though your workplace may be dark and shut down and you don't see God anywhere, it starts with prayer, and it can be a vibrant, over time workplace where God has transformed people's lives. But it really decides whether you want to start praying for your workplace. And I've seen it in my workplace go from 2 or 3, 4 people to 2, 3, 400 people. And it's just a God thing. The message is start with one person and go have break with them and share your story. If you don't know your story, ask God to help you figure out your story. He was actually there. He can help you, and it's one of those things that it's just a good practical example of just everything your faith has to do with being able to share with someone over break. And that's just, along with prayer, is where it happens.
Jeff!
Hey man, what's going on?
How you been?
I'm doing good.
Haven't seen you in a while. What you been up to?
Oh, busy.
Learn how to tell your story quickly. It's, in business, time is money, and you just don't have time to hang out and maybe get around to it. It's one of those things that you have to be spot on the game. You have to know what you're going to say, and because you really only have minutes. A standard break is 15 minutes, and it takes you a couple minutes to get down there and a couple minutes to get back. And so by the time you finish, you only have 4 or 5 minutes, and they only have 4 or 5 minutes. So do you want to talk about the ball game? Do you want to talk about the weather? Do you want to talk about the gossip that's going around in the company? Or do you want to make it fruitful?
I'm dieting, man. Story of my life.
I'm right there with you.
Hey, I hadn't seen you in a while. You got 10 minutes to grab a break?
Sure. What you want to talk about?
Let's go to the cafeteria. Let's just catch up.
All right.
I hadn't seen you from New York.
No, I didn't.
A lot of times that first conversation, I'll share almost like a standard issue, and it's sort of because I'm an introvert and I'm just not free-flowing, but I'll do a standard issue, what I call the 4-minute story, that sort of catches people up with Steve in a personal way, but also in a spiritual way. And so I sort of go through the things physically. Where was I born? Where did I live? What did I do? Where did I work?
Hey, I know we don't know much about each other, but I thought I'd just start and just to give you some feel for where I'm at. I'm originally a New Yorker.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Syracuse, New York, and from a larger family. I was number 5 out of 6.
Wow, I'm the 5th boy in my family.
Get
How about
out of
that?
here! You're like the first 5th boy I've ever met there.
There you go.
But so did your older ones have to shovel the snow and do all the chores?
No snow where I grew up.
I all of a sudden became personal, and a lot of times in the workplace people don't get personal, and so that can be fresh, it can be inviting, it can be like, wow, I can't believe that person just did that, and then I encourage them to reciprocate. And so it's sort of like I set the bar. Okay, I got personal, now it's your turn to get personal, and usually they will reciprocate, and usually that will be a really good first meeting that cracks the ice, where they've learned how to talk spiritual and social and a little historical about their lives all in one setting. And ever since then, I've really desired to be hot for Christ, but then it's what I call stumbling forward. It's like I have these things that I want to do, and then I don't do them, and I ask for forgiveness, and I just stumble forward. And that's pretty much been my life ever since then. It's just stumbling forward for God, and just trying to do what He wants. But then when I fail, I just get up and try to do it again. And
So that's been pretty much the thing. So how about you? What's your story?
So, come from a large family, kind of like you, and I went to church, but I didn't really understand it either. And met my wife now in college, and she started taking me to church. And for the first time ever, I heard what it meant to be a Christian, because I never knew growing up.
Wow.
And
So you're hanging around the right girls.
There you go. There you go. So accepted Christ as my Savior at 22 years old, and like you, been trying to follow Him faithfully ever since then.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So at this company here, how many Christians do you know? I mean, is it?
I probably could name 40 people who I believe are true followers of Christ here within the company.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. In terms of in praying for you, I'd love to add you to my list, so to speak, of just prayers. Is there anything God's putting on your heart for just taking the next step?
And so the enemy wants to make it sound like you can't talk, you have to be alone, there is no one here to help you, when in fact that's not accurate. There are other Christians where you work, and to start having those kinds of short little 4-minute breaks to introduce the topic can really just open up a whole new world of conversation and a whole new paradigm about how you even see work and the purpose of what work is. It can just really open all that up.
Well, you got to head on back. So back to the work world.
All right, man. Good to see you.
Awesome, man. Hey, it's
Enjoy
a pleasure
talking with you.
catching up.
All right, take care.